Okay, in this video, I've generated about 70 clips and I'm gonna categorize them in 8 scenes. And it's the style of a bank robbery, heist, action movie type of a thing. So I'm gonna make 2 different characters and each of them have their own sidekick. So this video is basically just for fun, experimenting with new movie ideas and looking at the tech, looking at the good and the bad and the ugly of AI. Okay, so here are the scenes coming up. Number 1, entering the bank. We have some explosives. Then there is a bank vault interior, a car chase on a freeway chase scene, a private jet. Then there's a bit of a skateboard scene. Number 7, they're on a rooftop. And number 8 is underground. You can comment if you want to. You can leave your thoughts behind. Could you see this as something else? A different genre, different scene order? Who are these people? Any new title ideas? More locations, items, characters? A backstory maybe? And any ideas for future videos? I can try to make it. Scene 1. So I ran the same prompts multiple times just so you can see the difference. So this one is pretty cool. Note the facial expression. There's really a lot of the time some acting, and I didn't ask for this. This is AI's idea of the situation and what the character is going through. Just imagine being at the bank and these characters come walking in. Too. So not much going on in this one. Sometimes the crocodile has armor, sometimes they don't. Again, interesting expression. AI does not seem to know exactly what a chainsaw is. If you're gonna look into the details, it's never really correct. 3. Okay, so the crocodile has body armor this time. The chainsaw is pretty cool. This character always seems to be a little bit confused or perplexed about what's going on inside the bank. 4. I like the way they walk in quickly and then stop. It's a bit of not a close-up exactly, but it's a cool shot and very movie-like actually. 5. I like the difference here. Bear looks very menacing actually. Very cool attitude. And the other one she seems a little bit shocked. And that's perfect actually because they are 2 different characters. They're gonna have different personalities, interpretations. 6. So again, very interesting characters, expression, just sort of looking around. The background characters don't always seem like something bad's about to happen, but I didn't really specify. 7. So yeah, the bear has a black body. I don't really know why. It seems already like there might be some kind of a hostage situation. People are lined up at the back. I like the character's hair this time. I always like seeing the body armor, just the differences, the little differences every time. 8. So sometimes, yeah, they don't have armor, and then this one has everything. Just that body armor is awesome. And there's some papers exploding in the background. Unfortunately, I didn't ask for that too many times, but I actually did that time. And some people are running around, so that's actually what I should have asked. Scene 2. 1. For this scene, I gave them a crate of explosives and put some hostages on the floor. I think you're gonna see some mistakes and some bloopers with the hostages. Some of them don't look very relaxed too. So as you can see, the hostage on the floor there has something like 3 different arms. Doesn't look very happy. The armor is very cool. The way it ends up on a close-up on this character, very cool. 3. So this time they gave the crocodile a type of a sports bra actually. That's not my request. He's a bit turquoise, so admittedly I do sometimes play around with the color just for fun. There's a painful expression there on the floor. Let's just imagine that they're all sleeping. 4. So our first major blooper of the day, they didn't give me a crocodile man. They gave me a man and a crocodile. I like that she's talking. Sometimes they give you a bit of talking and dialogue as well. Now they mixed it with a huge blooper. 5. So the bear actually, he's got some kind of a interesting sequin outfit. Looks cool though. I mean, I like the variation. Fully dressed bear in this situation. Doesn't look like explosives to be honest, but okay, he has it. Otherwise, pretty cool. 6. So you see sometimes they don't bother giving any armor. So we just have a normal polar bear. Actually, it looks very cool though, nevertheless. Big mess in the background. I wonder what happened there. 7. Interesting background. Not much happening here, so one guy looks totally dead and the lady looks bored in the background actually. Yeah, that's like normal office day job. 8. Look at how cool the character looks here. Just the face. That's really Hollywood. The bear looks like a dude in a bear suit. So maybe I asked for a pink bear. Okay, admittedly so, but not a bear suit. Scene 3, 1. So inside the bank vault, most of the time you're gonna see some smoke and maybe some flames, a lot of cash. And usually there's a sense of urgency the way they're putting the money in the bag. They don't always put it in, they just kind of play with it. 2. Completely different choice of hair for our character. Otherwise, a lot of cash in that place. 3. I like this shot. It's very cool, very Hollywood. The crocodile, however, is more like a statue of a crocodile. But it's okay. Maybe they only have one bag anyway. 4. So the door in the back really actually looks like there's some serious damage. And this time I have a baby crocodile. It's not a baby crocodile, but the size varies. You might have noticed. But that's pretty terrible. 5. This is a favorite of mine actually. The way the bear kind of just, he moves around and she's talking. It looks like a proper interaction of some sort. 6. Again, a different variety with the vault, but everything looks very cool in this one. The bear's nose is a bit weird. He could have looked more realistic. 7. See, here they just gave a normal polar bear. And she should have brought a bigger bag. 8. So again, polar bear. Look at the flames in the back though, still burning. Does not look like a real vault though, to be honest. Scene 4, 1. So this is a very cool one. Very basic, but it gets everything right. Knows what a car is because sometimes it really doesn't. And I like the way the crocodile's head is turned to the side because realistically it won't fit. 2. So this is what they do. They kind of invent different vehicles. Sometimes things that literally do not exist on this earth. There are issues in the background. Some cars are disappearing and going through each other, but that actually happens in most of these. 3. So a lot of madness there in the background, and there's this bullet hole on the right, but it's not really in the car, so definitely an issue there. She goes crazy and the crocodile's head disappears. 4. This isn't terrible. Nobody's driving the car, but I like the action in the background. Explosions. It gives the right idea. They are being pursued. 5. I usually lead with the good ones, and again, this is a favorite of mine. Like earlier, the bear seems very cool and calm, and she seems a little bit more on edge in this one, but very cinematic looking. 6. This one is also pretty cool. They could have fit the bear into it a little bit better. Major acceleration from that other car, maybe a little bit unrealistic. And the bear seems kind of huge for the car. Actually, maybe that's more realistic. 7. So maybe this is actually my favorite because I asked for a car and apparently at the last minute they had to go to Toys R Us to get a getaway vehicle. And they bouncing around in the thing, it's actually just perfect. And the way they're squeezed in together next to each other. Yeah, the bear's looking around too. They're both looking. That's awesome, right? So I like the bear here. He looks like a dog just sticking his head out the window, just enjoying the wind. He's in a world of his own there. Also, nobody is holding the wheel, and the background is absolutely crazy. And I want you to see that because they make people pay for this. So number 9, finally, the biggest blooper of them all. It just didn't get the car right at all. Maybe, no, there's no way this is working. Scene 5, 1. So they're not in a car anymore, that's for sure. Clearly a private jet on a private runway. And judging from all their expressions and all of these, definitely somebody shooting at somebody. 2. Occasionally there's an explosion, but I only thought about that later. I like the shot on her, close up in the foreground. Very cinematic looking, pretty much all of them. 3. So a shot or two gets fired and then they make a move for it. I like that. 4. Not much happening. She looks angry. 5. So they look pretty cool, the two of them. And then on the left, please tell me what you're seeing on the left. I did not ask for those. Looks like something out of a weird sci-fi movie. 6. So this is pretty cool, but clearly there's some kind of a glitch with the crate there, and then seems to piss off the bear and he just bashes it away. So that's kind of cool, but the fact that it happened is not supposed to be there. 7. Great balls of fire, which might suggest why we will not see them on a private jet. It looks cool though. 8. I like the bit of dialogue here, and then they make a quick decision and take a turn. Not a very private runway, whoa, with the vehicles in the background. Scene 6, 1. So I thought something different would be a skateboard escape, or at least an attempt. I always asked for a sidewalk, and they're never on the sidewalk, they're always in the street. This one looks pretty cool, that's why I put it first. Not too much wrong with it, but stay around for the blooper. This one is gonna be hectic. 2. This could be more of a sort of smaller street. They invented a type of a skateboard for the crocodile to fit onto. So still bringing the bag along. I'm happy with that. Sometimes they forget the bag, but he definitely has it. 3. So this isn't really working. Everything looks good, to be honest. Big boy crocodile. But the cars are too close. We can say it's slow motion, but it still doesn't work. 4. So I don't know why everything is red. All the cars are red. I like the way they end up on a close-up. Both of them are sort of drifting on sideways skateboards, and the wheels are facing the wrong way. Actually, something like that might exist. 5. Not so great, to be honest. I like how big the bag is, just because when you're gonna rob a bank, you want to do it properly. But this is clearly not escape plan A. When you end up on skateboards, that might be plan B or plan C at this point. 6. So right away, the bear is not on a skateboard. He's just cruising on his feet, wheelies. Also, the camo is very interesting. Body armor. They just patched him with little bits here and there. She does look cool though. 7. So they put him on a skateboard, but this is more something that should be coming out of a comedy. Hope you enjoyed that one. 8. So this is a bit weird. He's running, which is fine, he's allowed to run, but is what she's doing at all possible? 9. So they gave him a skateboard, but they also gave him a leg. And it's not the bare leg, it's somebody's leg. So that's a combination of doing some stuff right and doing something absolutely wrong. Scene 7. On the rooftop now. At this point, we can consider this escape plan D. I like the detail. There's a helicopter. Usually they're coming towards the camera. 2. They do seem to be in a different part of the city now. We went from nicer, more modern, and this looks a little bit old. I just want to say that in all of these prompts, I asked for them to jump from one building to another building, but it didn't matter how many times I did it, it doesn't seem to understand. I like the intensity of this one. They're coming close to the camera. 4. This actually looks like more things are happening. They're having a look around. No, we're not going that way, we're going this way. So pretty good acting. 5. So a helicopter again. The way the bear runs here is a little bit more like a comedy. And he also has a lot to say, and she actually looks at him and then looks at the helicopter. So I like the way it put everything together like that. He brought a tool belt though, not the big bag. 6. The way he runs here actually makes me think of Peter Griffin. Maybe that's just me. They both seem to be injured actually. If you look at the way she runs, they might have had some damage. 7. So the bear is actually very studly in this one. Very cool. One of the issues, obviously, she has a third arm coming out of her back, which is fine if you need one to carry your bag. But then at the end, it seems like it kind of turns into a right arm. Scene 8. 1. So this is about probably escape plan E at this point. Maybe this is finally the end for them. Seem to be a little bit more relaxed at this point. All the tunnels usually look pretty cool, not always realistic. 2. This is actually also one of my favorites. I like the way he has the bag on his back this time, but also just the light, the way they go into the light, out of the darkness, the shadows, really just perfect. 3. She still has the gun up, so arguably there might still be some concerns, but that doesn't mean that it's not over. Big boy crocodile still has the bag. Happy about that. 4. I added a pizza just because they haven't eaten, as far as I know. And maybe that indicates some kind of a happy ending. 5. Interesting color with the hair. This tunnel looks too clean and too large to actually be abandoned. But it's fine. 6. So the first time they gave me a baby bear. 7. It's not much to say in this one. They can be very basic. 8. I wanted them to have a pizza as well. You might say, well, how? How do you get a pizza down in the sewer? I don't know, good delivery. 9. So I put in as a bonus just something that might indicate a happy ending. Pretty easy one this. The crocodile might be a statue, although he does blink at least. 10. Kind of a silly expression, but smile indicates a happy ending. The bear doesn't look like he's loving life, but it's not prison. And I like the waves also crashing behind him. I also made an archaeology adventure type of a movie. 8 scenes, 3 different characters, 3 different sidekicks. Maybe you will enjoy that one as well. Okay, bye.